Today I want to revisit the flip cup. It's a good technique to start with if you are new to pouring. It's visually fun and really easy to do. But before I start, I'd like to give you a little historical perspective. When pouring was first becoming popular, everyone was doing a dirty pour, meaning pouring different colors into a cup and then pouring it out onto the canvas. In December of 2016, a combination of 3 people came up with the idea for the flip cup. First of all, Kaylee Bender, who founded the very first paint pouring group on Facebook, she would go live on the group and she would do dirty pours, and she used to do a dirty pour and she'd leave her cup upside down for a few minutes to make sure all the paint drained out. But Annabelle Caden took note of that, what Kaylee was doing, and she did it in a clear cup. She did a dirty pour and she went like this onto the canvas with her dirty pour, and then she watched it for a few minutes until the paint ran out and then went like this. Then Kathleen Edick said, why don't you put a board over it before you flip it? And so with that, the idea for the flip cup was born. Go like this. Now things like this seem obvious and simple, but they do have an origin, and I wanted to give credit where credit was due before the idea was, the origins were lost to time. In fact, I even asked Kaylee Bender about it recently, and she says, I don't remember. So don't worry, Kaylee, I got it. I remember I was there, and then I looked back and checked on the details to get some accuracy to it. So that was the origin of the flip cup in late 2016. So today, in honor of Anna, who did it in a clear cup so you could see it, I'm going to use a clear cup today, and I'm going to show you a flip cup technique, which is, again, is a good first pour if you haven't poured before, or if you want to show your friends. Okay, I have a 12 by 12 canvas. This is a 16-ounce cup. It's way more than I need, but I'm going to use the clear cup so you can see the colors develop when I start my dirty pour. The key to a good dirty pour, in my opinion, is to use a lot of white. The white helps the cells show up and develop. What I'm doing is just choosing some of my different happy medium paint ready to pour colors, not overthinking the color combinations too much. You know, when you're a beginner, you just start grabbing colors, so I want to kind of do that today. Just grab some colors, go for it. I will have these colors listed below in the description if this so happens to turn out to be impressive, where you want to mimic these colors. White sinks, as you can see. It's hard to know. Oh, some more pink. Okay, here's the flipping part. Take your canvas, put it on top of the cup, hold it snug, and then flip over. Set it back down. Now, what I'm going to be doing is just lifting the cup up in a minute or so, less than a minute. But another technique that was developed after the original flip cup was devised was people started pouring white around the outside here on the dry part of the canvas before you lift the cup. That often helps with helping this spread, but in the interest of tradition, I'm going to not do that today and just do it direct. And we'll see how it spreads. Okay, here we go. It's fun to watch. Let it spread for a minute. You can see the cells are developing on their own. My happy medium paint ready to pour has silicone in it already. It's all ready to go. All you have to do is remember to shake it before you use it. So I'm going to tilt slightly and slowly. I'm going to take note of areas that I like. If you take your time and tilt, you'll get, these cells will grow. They'll start to get a little bigger if you have some patience. And of course you have to go for coverage. So at some point you've got to push it on. I'm going to be pushing some of this black over the edge here to get some coverage. I don't want this painting to be just a blob in the middle, and the part streaming over the edge is always interesting. So I'm going to go for full coverage here. You do lose some paint, but it's worth it. There's plenty of working time with this. I like the way this is sort of divided into the gold and black are up here, and then you got pink down here and then the green. I'm going to get some coverage here, but I don't really want to lose that pink particularly because I like it. So another thing you can do is there's always some paint left over if you give it just a minute. This again was one of the early techniques, was to fill the corners so you don't have to spread the paint too much, especially if you like what's happening and you want to stop. And this usually ends up being a little bit of a stripy corner, which I kind of like. So that is the very simple and fun flip cup technique. And remember, if you need supplies, I have an Amazon shopping list with all my favorite paint pouring supplies on it. And if you would like to try Happy Medium, go to happymedium.fun to order. All my links, including my social media links, are in the description below, so check it out. Be sure and like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Remember, have fun. There's really no rules.